Hundreds of earthquakes have been rattling Mount Rainier over the last 2 days. This is the largest swarm since 2009.
Reporter Lauren Donovan spoke with seismologists at the Cascades Volcano Observatory about what's actually going on.
I called the USGS Tuesday looking for some more information. I spoke with Wes Thielen. He's a seismologist there, and he said, hey, hold up. There could be some more activity, more quakes overnight. And sure enough, Wednesday, we woke up to that. So Wes is joining us now via Zoom. Wes, what are we tracking right now?
A swarm of earthquakes started at Mount Rainier, and a swarm of earthquakes are a grouping of earthquakes that are happening in the same space in close together in time. And so we had an increase in activity, in seismic activity, up to about 26 events an hour.
This week, hundreds of small earthquakes have been detected at Mount Rainier, and this is the largest swarm of quakes in over a decade. But researchers say that this is normal behavior. Overnight, the U.S. Geological Survey also shared this graphic showing the earthquakes are really starting to die down to just a few small rumbles per hour. KOMO's meteorologist Stella Stun spoke with experts about the trends that they're seeing on the mountain.
Standing tall at 14,410 feet, Mount Rainier is the highest peak in the Cascade Mountain range.
She's just really powerful, the way that she stands in the skyline.
An active stratovolcano covered in glaciers and ice, Mount Rainier is closely watched by the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network, which monitors earthquakes in our region.
We woke up to lots of notifications that there were a lot of little earthquakes at Mount Rainier. We do detect seismicity regularly at Mount Rainier, so it's not out of the complete ordinary. However, seeing this many earthquakes in a short amount of time is unusual, but it's not unheard of.
PSNS says 9 earthquakes a month is normal. This is the largest swarm of earthquakes since 2009.
Don't freak out.
Swarms typically happen 1 to 2 times a year, but it's usually smaller in terms of the number of quakes. The last large swarm at Mount Rainier in 2009 had over 1,000 small earthquakes.
A swarm like this for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days is not really concerning.
As the earthquake experts do their jobs monitoring the mountains, they say all we need to do, take in the beauty.
I have probably like 5,000 photos of just the mountain, the snow-capped peak, and like a clear day. It's just, it's so good every time.
And since then, it's tailed off. It is the largest swarm since 2009 at Mount Rainier. These things at Mount Rainier we have seen before, and we expect to see them again in the future. As far as the future of this swarm, the swarm in 2009 lasted about 3 days. This swarm may last that long. It may actually intensify again. You know, we don't necessarily have a crystal ball to understand what it is that is happening under there. I should make a quick note. I just got a message that there was a magnitude 2.3 a little bit ago. We believe that this is most likely hot fluids that are running through pre-existing faults. You know, it is over the long term building toward the next eruption. We don't know when that is, and we need to look at
But you know, like everybody is always saying like we are due for one at Rainier, right? And they cite that figure, it's been over 1,000 years. But set us straight, is that just mythology that gets people so riled up? Obviously a lot of excitement over this news, a lot of concern. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so, you know, I think Mount Rainier, it just dominates the skyline, and it dominates the skyline whether you're in Seattle, you know, Tacoma. I think that, you know, you drive around and it's this like, oh, is the mountain out? And so I think within just people's everyday life, you know, they are reminded that there's this volcano there.
All of these earthquakes are happening miles below the surface. None of them have been strong enough to be felt above ground.
Just an explosive morning in Iceland as a volcano erupted in the southwest part of the country. Here's video from this outbreak near Iceland's capital, which has seen an increase in activity over the last few years. Officials say while this is a small eruption, people have been evacuated from the Blue Lagoon. It's a popular spa resort that you may have heard of or even been to.
A volcanic eruption in southwestern Iceland has once again forced the evacuation of tourists at the famous Blue Lagoon geothermal spa. The eruption started around 4 a.m. local time following an intense series of earthquakes southwest of the capital, Reykjavik. The Blue Lagoon and a campsite was evacuated, but officials say lava from the eruption isn't threatening any buildings. This is the 9th time the volcano has erupted since 2023 after it lay dormant for some 800 years.
In a discovery that could rewrite how we understand planetary destruction, scientists have found a terrifying link between cataclysmic volcanic eruptions and giant continent-sized blobs hidden deep inside the Earth. Take a look.
Buried thousands of kilometers below our feet, there is a ticking time bomb. Two colossal blobs of unknown material, each larger than a continent, have long mystified geologists. Now, in a stunning breakthrough, scientists say these deep Earth anomalies may be directly fueling the deadliest volcanic eruptions in Earth's history. These massive structures hiding near the Earth's core sit under Africa and the Pacific Ocean. The blobs have been there for billions of years, but recent research links them to the most violent eruptions our planet has ever seen, including events that triggered mass extinctions, global climate collapse, and the reshaping of entire continents. New research suggests that the deep Earth is even more dynamic than we realize. Future research aims to explore the chemical nature of blobs, which might be possible with simulations that track the evolution of their composition. The implications for the world are profound. Understanding these subterranean giants is not just academic pursuit, but a critical endeavor for assessing future geological hazards. Identifying these hidden massive structures provides an unprecedented window into our planet's most destructive forces, urging us to prepare for the deep-seated tremors that could, once again, dramatically reshape our world. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
Great. And for archival purposes again, can we please have your name and the title you would like to go by?
Sure. My name is Alex Yetzi, IEZZI, and I am a research geophysicist at the USGS Cascades Volcano Observatory.
And your latest release this morning says that this latest earthquake swarm at Mount Rainier has surpassed the last large one from 2009 in several areas. What are you seeing?
Yeah, so the largest swarm we had seen prior to this one was in 2009, like you mentioned. So that was the kind of thing that we were looking at most. As of now, we're right around the same duration, about 2.5 days. So we might surpass that since events keep going. But in terms of the total number of events that have been recorded, the event rate or the peak event rate, and the energy release of those events over the duration of the swarm have now kind of surpassed the 2009 one. And so one thing to kind of note is back in 2009, we had less earthquakes. That was 15 years ago, or less seismometers actually, but the network was still like pretty decent back then. And so one metric that I think is a really good one to look at is how many earthquakes greater than magnitude 1 happened in 2009 versus happening now. So in 2009, there were only 15 events greater than magnitude 1, whereas now we're at 55 events greater than magnitude 1 and still going. And so we would have been able to see those events, since they're large enough at that time, pretty equally.